Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode.
Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I am your host Mike, and I'm joined in a virtual room filled with I've got a regular lion and a guest lion's just walked through the door. I've got regular lion of the show, Berth. We always love a Berth. We love when Berth is on, and because Chris and Ollie can't make it today because they're a little bit poorly, unfortunately, a little bit poorly. I have son of Chelsea. I've got Dan. Dan's here. Oh, and you'll remember the interview episode we did a while back. So yeah, well, Monday show on a Monday. Guys, first of all, welcome Dan. Welcome back.
Great to be back as well. So yeah, and what an episode to be back for as well.
I know it's a pretty positive one, and of course Chris has ducked out.
That's typical of Chris, though, isn't
it's
it?
so
Really?
wrong, Chris. I really wanted him on just for the fact that it'd be positive. But I've got to say, moments of the weekend, I always kick it off, and I've got to go straight. Berth, come on, share. Come on. What happened?
So,
what happened?
Yeah, so I went to the bridge to watch the game. Obviously, the game itself was phenomenal. The ending was, I don't think I've ever celebrated so much in all my life, and I think I jumped down about 2 sets of stairs just to celebrate. But I also met an absolute legend of the game in Gary Cahill, and I got a photo with him. Nicest bloke you could ever meet, genuine, just great guy. And I've said it to loads of people, but I think Saturday was probably one of the best days of my life. And yeah, I've never been happier than
I mean,
Saturday night. Honestly, it was just, my adrenaline was through the roof, and so many things were happening. It was just what a day, really what a day.
Gary Cahill, I was just so honestly, I was so chuffed when I saw you'd met him and everything. It's like, this guy. I mean, this Gary Cahill, I must say, is one of, from my own experience, which is only online, but one of the loveliest guys ever. Because I remember how he spoke to us on through our DMs about when he tore his ACL when he was at, you said Palace against us. I keep forgetting which club it is, and he was just so lovely. And when we wished him well, and he was speaking, and he didn't have to speak to us, but he chose to. No. And it's so nice.
The thing is as well, and I said this off air as well, Mikey, but I've never met a Chelsea player sort of face to face before. When I met him, I've never been so starstruck in all my life. He shook my hand. I've had a photo with him. I had a joke and that with him. I offered him a beer, and he was like, "I'd absolutely love one." He did. Obviously, he couldn't have a beer because he was having to do a chat and do some sort of punditry. But I was honestly in awe of him, and what a guy! And lovely bloke. And I can't speak highly enough of Gary Cahill.
Legend. Dan, what were your highlights of the weekend? Probably the Chelsea game.
Yeah, it kind of was. I mean, it started. My better half is a massive Taylor Swift fan. So in some ways, because she's also a Chelsea fan, it's been a positive weekend all round with the new album dropping. Then of course what happened on Saturday, and it's just I don't know about you guys, but it's nice, especially after a few weekends where we haven't won, where there's still a bit of novelty, and I think it's because of what's happened in recent years, of the pleasure of consuming so much post-match content around Chelsea. And it's something that, I remember growing up with the, Mourinho and Conte and Ancelotti, and, you'd really be obsessed about things. And when they were going well, you'd savor up everything. The last time I probably savored up so much post-match was obviously the Club World Cup, but also after Rocklaw as well, and just coming back and watching the full game. So yeah, it's been a lovely weekend, and I don't know if you agree. It feels like to me the biggest win under Maresca at Stamford Bridge, and probably the best Stamford Bridge moment under Clear Lake. Probably.
Oh yeah.
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
I would say without a doubt, for certain.
Do
I mean,
do you reckon it beats the? Do you reckon it beats the Man U game?
Yeah, I think so. But the thing is, it's like the Man U game, of course. Like it's different. I guess the Man United game arguably is more insane because
Yeah.
it was just more shock than anything because we were pretty dreadful for large sections of that game. So I guess arguably the shock maybe for some people will overtake. I mean, I wasn't at that game, so the fact I was at the Liverpool one is always going to make it a bit sweeter, to be honest. And I like beating Liverpool more than I do beating Man United. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably on my pecking order why it goes up a bit.
Yeah, for certain. For me, look, I teased it on the Thursday actually. Baked those pumpkin spice latte cookies. That's another new favourite of mine. That was a pumpkin spice coffee infused cookie with coffee vanilla glaze topped with toasted pecans. It's quite nice. Football though. Napoli beat Genoa 2-1. Hoyland scored again, so I'm a happy boy. But the Genoa goal from Jeff Ekator got my attention. I don't know if you've seen it, but the build-up play is absolutely gorgeous. The finish is art because it's a back heel, always a winner. Seek it out, listeners, if you haven't, because it's you won't be left disappointed. You won't be left disappointed. And of course, let me go for the good old Scandinavian heritage again. Congratulations to, I think it's pronounced Vikinga Reykjavik, who are champions of Iceland. So yeah, man, we'll be seeing them. Well, I swear it was Viking. I keep thinking it was Viking, but apparently it's not. So I'm not going to butcher that.
I'll be honest, I have no idea, mate. So you're on your own on that one.
I swear this is a team that they're always in the Conference League. No disrespect. I'm just, this is a team that are always in the Conference League, which we hope to never ever have to go into again because, we've done it once. That was nice. 100% win record. Let's just go with that. All right. So I will go to our Shevva shoutouts because obviously the listeners have been dropping in on the good old Spotify comments. And naturally, of course, I'm stalling for time because I haven't loaded the webpage up. And we will store some more. But there was always some good ones. And there's always some aimed at Mr. Christopher, who's not here. And I might pull this up on my phone because it's still not loaded. And that is
like you said, Mikey, we are really professional on this podcast.
There it is. That podcast awards the nomination's in the post. It's going to happen. It will arrive. So here we go. There we go. Oh, happy days. I found it. I've actually found it. So this week's comments. They're there. There we are. So what happened? We've got KP. What do you know? 9 centre-back injuries, a pairing of Achampong and Badiashile, then Hato to beat Liverpool. Are we still going to be running the Maresca out gimmick, or is that saved for the next drop point without any context? Look. We sometimes we wear our emotions on our sleeve and we can react, no. And you have to just be brought back down to earth. We can be wrong. I can be wrong. Often, always wrong. So look, it's not
the thing is that annoys me is that you're not allowed to
change your opinion.
Yeah. So when we Liverpool game, I'm sure we will, but we'll give him loads of credit, which he deserves. And when say against Brighton, we will sort of say, well, he didn't do very good. So I don't get why you have to sort on the hot way through. We have to give sort of credit where credit's due, and we have to, say done a few things badly. We're allowed to do that. It's just some reason,
Yeah, I think that's why we don't do live reaction episodes. And obviously I know there's a lot of social Chelsea fans and Chelsea YouTubers that do instant reactions to the game. I don't think I could ever do that because I would instantly hate everything I say when I've calmed down, either when I've been off a really big high or a really big low. What do you say? What do you think, Dan?
I do find it weird nowadays where people just don't seem to grasp kind of the regular, normal way people have discourse around their football clubs. I think it's quite a simple equation. If your football team plays well, you're happy and you praise the players and the head coach. If they don't play well, you don't praise them and you criticize them.
Yeah.
And there is obviously nuance within that and there are extremes within that. But I think there are some people who seemingly just want one or the other. They want sort of blind positivity or blind negativity all of the time. And I just think that's very intellectually dishonest. Like that, there's no point us, being on this podcast or talking and having discourse, right? Because every football fan you meet, they don't even have to have a podcast. People anecdotally you meet or go to games with speak in that sort of tone and that kind of rhythm of 1 week things will feel terrible, that and the next week they feel amazing. That's the life of a Chelsea supporter, really, and the life of a football supporter is you have to deal with those highs and lows. So yeah, I think I wasn't calling for Maresca's head after Man United or Brighton. I did think Man United was a bit of an embarrassment. I do think there were concerns about the Brighton game, but I think it would have been weird if we all, after Brighton and Man United, were cheering. And then equally, post what we've just seen, it'd be stupid to try and get negative and really, drill down and be really pessimistic after you've just beaten Liverpool. So I think there is a bit of just weirdness where some people seem to be completely disconnected from kind of how football fans have always talked about their clubs.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's very rare you come away from a defeat feeling positive. It happens. I mean, me last night, Seahawks lost 38-35 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I was like really happy with how the Seahawks, I was like really happy. I was like, we lost, but you know what? It wasn't too bad. So yeah, it's just kind of, it's how
you've got to take the rough with the smooth, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the part of being a fan. I mean, that a supporter, it's just the part of the game. Right, so next up, we got Hot Show Bag. Can't wait for this week's pod, guys. Now, that was worth getting up at 3 a.m. for. Exciting football. I'm really happy with the attacking intent and some great individual defensive acts. I thought Fernandes was really good. John, best Chelsea podcast from Southern Alabama. Oh, thanks, guys. Love hearing my questions answered, but Chris is the GOAT with Mikey by his side. I don't think Ollie and Berth are real people. Keep up the good work. Go Bills, Mikey, and up the Chelsea. Berth is real. Yeah, look, we do have lives and apparently frail health at times. That's, I'm the only one who's always here. Bless me. I'm stupid for that, I guess. But sometimes, it's just, you can have a rest. Get back to full fitness, undergoing the rehabilitation program. We should know this as Chelsea supporters. I've got Clinton, been loving the pod and have been investing in the grassroots results as well. My takeaway from this game was that our stars were stars. James, Caicedo, Enzo played to the potential that everyone expects from them. Enzo even moved like he was 10 pounds lighter. I thought Malo Gusto had a really good game when he was in the midfield. Wasn't an absolute liability right back like usual. I think Mark Yu and Estevao show that they're the ability tough to run rampant against tired legs. Jamali, I've got Enzo keeping that red card streak going, saw no one would get one, so took matters into his own hands, and what a win. And other people other than Chelsea fans need to recognise how good Moise Caicedo is. Yeah, I think that's very echoed. Cooper, hey guys, just wanted to write a small poem. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to this. My dearest Estevao, every time you step onto the pitch, it feels like magic unfolds. The way you move quick, confident and full of passion captures not just the game, but hearts like mine. Watching you play for Chelsea fills me with pride and admiration. Your talent shines brighter than the Stamford Bridge lights. Every time you play for Chelsea, my heart races. Your smile lights up the pitch in my world. From your favourite fan, Cooper. Oh, well, world class. World class. You can't beat a bit of a poem. Just a couple more left. I've got Keyword in the aftermath of the Gittins Gu Estevao rebirth. Chris, I dare you to put Gu in your losers. I'm writing this. I've been putting off placing the finger on the panic button. It's not even 10 games yet. Rightly so. We are shit, but can only get better, right? Shame it's before the break. I reckon when we're back, we could get Ange a sack. By the way, why did no one include the Sam Allardyce Bolton as one of their top 5 Champions League winners and cult players? JJ Kocher, Ollie, you may be too young. I do remember, I mean, everyone here should remember the JJ Kocher Bolton era. I don't think we couldn't. Yeah, it was brilliant. And they did, it was great. Even Campo, so many. Mr. Donnelly, going with that because I can't pronounce your first name. Taylor Swift, rumoured to have signed a new deal with Blueco, as suggested by the lines, "This love is pure profit" in her new song, Father Figure. I've listened to the album. I don't know if that's true. Is that true? Is that a lyric?
That is, I can confirm there is a reference to pure profit. So
bloody hell.
It is a PSR diss track.
Wow. That's gold. I love it. Lucas, hi guys, fellow Chelsea fan here across the pond from Minnesota. Became a fan in 2016 when they played Milan and were the first event in US Bank Stadium on their summer tour and got to go watch them with my mum and brother. Absolutely love the pod. Think you guys have the perfect balance between being very entertaining while also having a great analysis of the games as well as the team and individual players. Love the integration of Minnesota fandom and is partially what got me so invested. Well, thank you. Jerry, Chris, the superstar. He's not here, though. I am generally optimistic about the club, but my guilty pleasure is waiting for Chris's losers list. Ollie speaks more to my sensibilities around game, and Mikey does a great job coordinating the chaos. Oh, thanks.
Not
James,
the I got to mention there as well. Cheers.
you're there somewhere. Look,
yeah, I'm there somewhere.
Jerry's gone. He's continuing this part series of who we should sign from each club. He's gone part 9 Fulham. Who would you sign? And he says, I think this was James, sorry, not Jerry. James. I think this one is a difficult one because I think it's a team of average players who work well together. Marco Silva had done a remarkable job. I'd probably go for Muniz, but even him wouldn't be good enough. Robinson wouldn't get into our best 11. Bassey's a good player, but I don't think he'll ever be Chelsea level. Iwobi is average, so I don't know. Curious on your opinions.
I'm
Dan,
surprised.
Who you take? Go on, Berth. Go on.
I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned Josh King because that screams a Chelsea signing.
He's a Ballon d'Or winner. They're going to give it him for having that goal chalked off.
Yeah, but like he's young. He's got a lot of potential. Looks very good, to be fair. Just I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned him. But yeah, that's who I think we'd sign if we'd sign anyone from Fulham.
Who would you pick, Dan?
Josh King does sound like someone Chelsea would go for after not a lot of first team minutes. I mean, we do like signing raw players.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is, I hear Josh King and I think of the player who played for Bournemouth. I can't unhear that name.
I have to. Yeah, I mean that was my feeling after the Fulham game. I was like, hang on, is that? And I was actually at the game, and I was like, after it, I was like, that sounds wrong. Like I thought there was a Josh King that played for Bournemouth, has been around for a bit. I didn't think he was. And then when I heard that he was like an 18-year-old making his debut, I was like, hang on, have I completely missed something here?
Yeah, it's wild because I just quickly pulled up his. This is how his career went. He went from Bournemouth to Everton, Watford, Fenerbahce, Toulouse, and now he's in the Saudi Pro League with Al Khalij. I don't remember any of them teams. I was like, did he? I don't remember any of that. It's like, bloody hell. Oh, fair enough. Anders, hey guys, had this argument with a fellow fan the other day. Let's imagine a dream scenario. It's 2028. Chelsea have just won the Premier League. How many of our current players would have been regulars in the starting 11, if any, and who? I think forward definitely, and then another 5 to 6 that could potentially be, but are not there yet. The rest I highly doubt. Would love to hear your takes and see if you agree or disagree. Caicedo, Cucurella, Sanchez, Colwill probably in there. I can imagine Colwill.
Do you reckon James?
Yes, I'd say Lavia if we manage his fitness well.
Yeah, Estevao as well. Estevao's got to be in there.
Oh, of course. That's awkward. Yeah, good point. Yeah. What do you think, Dan?
I'd agree with all those names, to be honest. I think the interesting thing with Lavia, and I tweeted it after the game, it's bizarre how great he looks despite not playing a load of football.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like for someone who spends much of his time out on the sidelines on the treatment table, stop-start since he's arrived at Chelsea and has many setbacks, whenever you see him come off the bench, in an intense game like that, where I think even some of the Liverpool subs were kind of found it quite difficult to get up to the speed of the game. He looks so composed. He looks so influential. And you do kind of think him and Caicedo as a midfield. And we saw, the last time we played Liverpool at the Bridge, Lavia was a big part of that victory as well. So he gets forgotten a bit because, of course, he's always injured.
That's true. We'll just run through the quick ones. I've got Jack Gittins making that 20 million Sancho deal look like a missed deal of the window. Everyone remember when we sold Hudson-Odoi for 3 million, 20 goals and assists in 79 for Forest. Gittins had 31 and 107 for Dortmund. Not saying we'd be better off still having Hudson-Odoi, but we wouldn't be worse, could we? Owen, love the longer pod this time around. Would love to have more like this to fill what feels like the endless hours at work. With the international break on the way, I was wondering why with our fitness issues, the club doesn't turn around to our tired players' nations and tell them that they can't go to these games. I understand some players may still want to go since playing for their nation is such a massive achievement, but could the club not overrule this? Seems like a very simple solution to me. I agree with that, but also I believe we literally legally can't with FIFA law. I think once they're called up, it's kind of like you have to sort of be cheeky and be like, oh, they might be injured. I think there's some laws with that we can't, unfortunately. Heat Rave. I have been busy with work this past few weeks, so I had to catch up on the pod for the Brighton game. I was literally shocked none of you picked Gusto as a looter. All 3 goals from his flank got cooked by Minter through and through, and the most annoying Gusto chop when he was clean through on goal for a counter at 2-1 down. Totally necessary, and a good coach punishes you for that. I don't think Maresca will. L House 75, great pod. To clarify, I am Norwegian, second gen in America, and I know the difference in flags. I just wanted my horn, not a dig at Mads. Dire watch on Tuesday. Come on, you Blues. Screw Isaac. 3 points and no red cards, please. He's got his soft spot clubs: Ipswich, AFC Wimbledon, Atletico Madrid, Servette, and Chelsea B. I mean, AC Milan, he put legend. And Gardenia Man 12. Hey, guys, enjoy the pod. 2 questions. Okay. Well, he's asked about Chris and Ollie's Twitter handles. I will drop that to you. And interested in your thoughts on potential Chelsea signings if the board somehow clink their heads together and start targeting 3 to 4 signs. So leave it at that. Goalkeeper, defenders. We'll touch on that in a future episode. So what we'll do is, of course, I thank you for your reviews, thoughts, and everything else. If you want yours around the show, just head over to Spotify, drop a comment on the episode, and make sure to read you out in the next episode. So with that, we are going to hit some news. It's a small charcuterie board of news. We had Chelsea women. They confirmed that Suka Nushkin signed a new 2-year deal with the club, despite only playing 16, nearly 18 minutes a season for 4 games. And on the surface, I did celebrate this because it's great news. I rate her a lot, and I love the personality she brings to the pitch. But I also worry that this deal could be the smokescreen of we're going to get a fee for her next summer.
Potentially, yeah. Potentially.
I hope not. I love her. She's so fun. And you just think she's a good player and she brings personality. And I don't know. Do you think I'm barking up the wrong tree there, Dan?
Hopefully not, but you can see sort of the ruthless sort of business, cynical side that we see with football clubs where they know a contract's running down. They can't really afford to lose the player or never really want to afford to risk losing a player for free. And potentially, yeah. But I think on the women's side, there is such a distinct and massive contrast between the way business is done on the women's side compared to the men's side. You feel Chelsea are ruthlessly always looking to evolve the team and to grab the best players and to try and find the best players. And at times, there isn't a feeling of everything has to be for tomorrow, it's for today. So that could be a reason for this news, to maintain what they already have.
Reece James, this is the only other bit of news. He pulled out of the England squad due to an injury sustained against Liverpool. I know. Apparently it's not the gash on his leg, which is horrible to see. That was. Apparently it's just something as a precaution. I don't really feel this is a crisis. I think it's just management. I mean, he like I said, that nasty cut to his leg. Yikes! But look, Thomas Tuchel, he likes Reece James. He's worked with him. He made him a Champions League winner. He knows him very, very well. And look, England's next 2 fixtures are hardly massive. It's a friendly against Wales and then a qualifier against Latvia. They should be beating both teams comfortably, realistically. And Latvia's the only competitive game. It's not a fixture you want to risk your star players, and they go way back, don't they? So mutual respect. I don't think this is. I think it's just protecting him long term rather than just pushing him through the pain barrier for being realistic to not real games.
I think it's always a worry, to be honest, if when Reece James withdraws from anything and there's rumours that he's got an injury. Obviously, it seems like it's nothing more than a precautionary thing. So hopefully he's just going to rest up and then he's fit to go again once international break's over. But yes, it is always a worry. Yeah,
but for me, both of those 2 fixtures, they are the drop.
It's not a real game.
They're not. What are you worried, Dan?
About Reece James or just generally the international players? Reece, it sounds like a precaution to me. That's the way it's been reported. So hopefully that's what it is. And rightly, like if friendlies and stuff like that, you kind of do think, what's the point of risking? And I do wonder if Chelsea's injury situation wasn't as concerning as it is, whether the club may be, as you say, rules are rules, right? But I do wonder sometimes if it's a case of maybe the player, wanting to maybe return or kind of fearful about an injury. And it's just nice they're managing it well, because I think the last international break was where Tuchel seemed to play Reece for basically all the minutes, and then it had a knock-on effect with us not being able to play him against Brentford. So it's going to be a similar case where we're away from home on the Saturday and it's a lunchtime kickoff.
True. Right, we'll head to Kingsmeadow Corner. This game felt ages away. It was on Friday night because Chelsea women headed up to Manchester to take on Manchester United, and it ended 1-1. And I don't know if Chris would have found more than what I found. One winner and one loser from this, and I'm sure everyone will agree. My winner was Cat Mack and the goal. I mean, when in doubt, just trust Cat. The goal, vintage. It was quick. It was incisive. It was beautifully constructed. It was Macario and Vic Captain. They linked up again. It's like they've been playing for a decade. It was just the weight of the back heel, the movement, the finish. That was class. That was Chelsea class. And it's just a reminder about when we click this Chelsea side, when the rhythm hits, it's just fluid. But I'll be honest, beyond the goals, it's not a highlight reel game. It was like, it's a bit like dry toast. It was functional, not memorable. And if we go on to win the league and draw one game all season and the rest is perfect, then we'll probably remember this and be like, so close to a perfect season. What did you all make of the game, really?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't think you can ever grumble at sort of getting a draw away to Manchester United. I thought it was very, very sort of just cancelled out by each other. But we've maintained our unbeaten record at the start of the season. We weren't at our best by any means, but I don't think Man U really were. But just, we haven't lost, and I think that's the main takeaway from it. And yeah, just go again next game.
It was when Chris wasn't too. I was like, it just wasn't a great game of football.
It wasn't a great game to watch.
It was weird. It was good goal for Man United, but that's not really the point here. I mean, what did you make of it, Dan?
It is interesting the sort of the margin for error in the WSL, that even at an earlier stage, if you are dropping points, there is the fear that it could come back to bite you, because we've seen in recent years, even with Chelsea's dominance, how slim the margins are for the title sometimes. So anytime, and especially this Chelsea team or the Chelsea team of recent years, that most of the time you expect walk up to a majority of games and have such a kind of a ruthless mentality and an ability to put games away at ease, there always is a bit of a shock when they drop any points. But you do get the sense that obviously there's still a long way to go in the season, and Man United, I know a few years back were really pushing to try and get towards the top of the WSL. I've had obviously their own off pitch issues, but I agree that you like a draw away from home. It's just it does obviously then means you have to make up points elsewhere probably later in the season, and that's maybe something that Sonia might be a little bit concerned about. But with this team, you'd back them to make up for it.
Yeah. The only loser from this game, and I'm sure, I don't know if I'd love to have known Chris's take on this. I had the actual BBC commentary team, because I always applaud free-to-air coverage for the women's game. It's vital, it's deserved, and it's great exposure. But the balance is key with the commentary. And I was watching it and it felt less like a neutral analysis and more like a Man United fan group chat, because it was Rachel Brown-Finnis. She was on co-coms, and I respect her insight. I really do. But there was a lot of negativity towards Chelsea. Like, it was always like white noise of negativity. Every sentence was like, we're dropping points, we're losing our perfect start, this is stopping their winning run. There was not a lot about what Chelsea did right in the game, or even what I found surprising, what United did right. And it was like, I don't mind critical commentary. It makes good analysis. It really does. But whether it's bias is the problem. I think that's why we moan about like Carragher and Neville, and whether it's for or against your club. So in this instance, for or against Chelsea, I don't learn anything. And I like to, for me, I want a compelling tactical broadcast, not, I want to learn something about the game as well. And sometimes I think the opinion blends in, and that's, yeah. I mean, this is the BBC. I kind of expected, I want to learn. I just want to learn, guys. I don't know. Did you catch any of the commentary?
I didn't, to be fair. I wasn't really I can't pay too much attention to commentary when I'm watching the game, so I didn't really connect with it. But yeah, I totally agree, Mark. To be fair, and it's just I think commentary as a whole these days is very, very strange anyway, and it's just there's a lot of polarizing opinions and stuff. So that's kind of why I have to sort of switch off from it and have my own opinions and just like sort of focus and make up my own commentary, so to speak. But yeah, it's a weird one.
Do you remember when it's Martin Tyler and every time Man United played, it was like, if it's not Man United win, it was like, I've got a feeling he might be a Man U fan. I mean, there's no wrong in that, but it's like, is he a Man United fan?
Yeah, I mean, I never got Martin Tyler, to be fair. I think there was obviously the one where he screamed for Martial's goal and then Benteke scored an overhead kick and he just went, oh, that was a good goal.
I love that.
But what people like to take things out of context. When Benteke scored that goal, it didn't really mean anything. It was like a consolation goal.
What a goal!
So he's not going to celebrate that. Like he's not going to go mad like he did with Aguero's goal or anything like that.
He so should have. It was a great goal.
People just take a lot of commentating out of context these days and don't sort of not really get it. But yeah, it's just a weatherboard these days, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Dan? Before we move on to our winners and losers of the Man U Chelsea Liverpool game.
Yeah, there is a frustration, obviously, generally with bias and kind of. I think sometimes it's fascinating sometimes to turn off commentary or watch a game with the commentary or the volume turned really down, and then, I mean, it's obviously the distinction between being at a game versus watching it on TV, the two different perspectives you get. But I'm always fascinated if you haven't engaged on social media and haven't really listened to the commentary. Sometimes your take on a game can be wildly different to the perspective that they've had on the media. So yeah, it can be frustrating. Yeah,
for certain. Right, there's our Kingsmeadow corner. Oh, it's time to head to winners and losers because we welcomed the media's darling. Yeah, everyone loves Liverpool. To Stamford Bridge.
Forward, and it is Cucurella, and Estevao! Stoppage time drama at Stamford Bridge. Maresca races to join in the celebrations. Just look how much it means to them. They are on the brink of downing the champions.
Oh, Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. It was I've gone from the norm of my little quirky commentary summaries. I had to do the actual in-game audio because what a feeling, what a moment. And look, we do it, winners and losers. Who have you got and how many have you got? I've got 5 and 3.
5 and 3, wow.
I could, my winners and losers are going to be a bit quirky, the 3 losers. Come on, I'm not going to be too
Yeah, I've got 3 and 3, just same old.
Now, to be fair, Dan was given literally 10 minutes notice before this episode, so I wouldn't be too upset if he hasn't. He's just going to chime in. It's up to you, Dan, what you want to do here.
Yeah, no, I'll chime in.
That's totally fine. So, because it's a very positive episode, we'll do our quick fire losers first. I went with injuries. That was my first loser because
that was on my list. To be fair.
Oh, dude, if there's one dark cloud hanging over this win, it was the injuries. I mean, Badia Shilen's Champong limped off. Willie Caballero, though, he reassured us. He did. He said they were precautionary, and this is where people are going to go, why did Caballero do the post-game presser? Well, that's because apparently, I found out, when the manager is sent off during a game, they are banned from doing the post-game. What is that about? What is that?
You know what? I never knew that.
I didn't know about it till today. I was like, what? Why? It's a poor Caballero. Out you go, mate. Also, did you notice that he had his initials the other way around? It was CW.
I didn't notice that either. Wow.
Yeah. And that, I don't know what that is about. Don't know. Be curious. But anyway, look, precautionary. It does add, though, to an ever-growing list. We have Colwill, Tosin, Fofana, Santos, Palmer, Asugo, Delap. And, I mean, realistically, Fofana and Santos should return after the break. Tosin's pretty close too. But it's still a worry. I mean, this kind of finally might answer the question that many of us asked back in the summer was, would the Club World Cup lead to more injuries this season? I mean...
Yep, it does, but I think that we've had an injury problem for a while now either way. I don't think it's out. I think players are probably just absolutely knackered. It's a concern, especially with Josh and Badiashile, because they were playing, had great games. I thought Badiashile was brilliant.
He was superb. Yeah.
What I will say about Josh is he was very, very good, but you could tell when Reece moved to centre back, the Josh then was not nervous, but he looked slightly more out of place because he was kind of he weren't used to Reece being there, and it looked from that perspective that he was a bit unnerved by it, I'd say. So, but yeah, they were both brilliant, and it was a big blow because I thought once they both went down, I thought, oh, here we go.
I understand that. I do. What did you make of the injuries so far this season, Dan?
They have been frustrating. You kind of are hesitant sometimes to go straight for it's the Club World Cup because some of those players that have got injuries weren't massive figures at the Club World Cup. So it's not like a simple case because, Caicedo and Cucurella, for instance, have remained durable. Yeah. And those are players that played a stupid number of minutes last season straight into playing a stupid number of minutes at the Club World Cup. So it isn't a straight, direct line between you played a lot of minutes for us at the Club World Cup and then you got injured. I mean, one of the injuries is a concussion to Fofana, which means he's had to be out. So it's not as simple as that. And, the suspensions, unfortunately, have kind of compounded those problems, right? But it certainly is a worry at the moment. I'm not ruling it out and saying it absolutely has nothing to do with the Club World Cup. I think the Club World Cup fatigue or knock on or kind of collateral damage is something that I think we're going to have to assess over the course of the whole season rather than just a few weeks, because we could be sat here in February and we have not faced the same injury crisis again. And then what is the narrative going to be? Well, it was the Club World Cup, it's tough, but I think to flip it around in a positive is that with all these injuries, with the suspensions, with the team not playing well, not really convincing so far this year, you've got to give up to Enzo Maresca for constructing a brilliant tactical plan, and for the players on that pitch, the likes of Josh Achimpong and the returning Badia Shield, to put in such a big performance when it was needed. Yeah.
Oh, Berth, who was your? I've literally only got two more losers, and they're silly ones, as I always do. Who were yours?
So my second one, VAR. Now this will sound weird because there weren't really any sort of situations, but when that Estevao goal went in, obviously I was sat on the east stand, pretty much right on the halfway line, or to the right of the halfway line, and I always celebrated. I went mad, and everyone was going mad. And then I turned to a mate who I was with, and he went, "Is that offside?" And then that doubt crept in then, and it made me almost suddenly stop celebrating. And I was like, this is what sort of VAR has done to football almost. Now, I don't mind VAR. I think it does work well, and he kind of like forwards and against it, but it just sort of zaps the energy out of me. That sort of euphoria of like scoring a goal and celebrating and going mad at a last minute win. I thought that element of doubt then just made me think, oh, is he offside? Is this going to be cancelled? Is this going to be offside? And I thought, if VAR weren't a thing, I would not be worrying about it, and I would not be worrying that this isn't a goal. So it just sort of zapped a bit of energy out of me. And obviously when Anthony Taylor gave it, it was fine. But that doubt really is horrible for being there live. It just sort of was a bit annoying.
Dude, I didn't even think about that when I celebrated the goal. You've literally just given me a bit of anxiety from a game that's already happened. I didn't think at all. I saw it and was like, and then I went out the room. That's happened.
Well, the thing is, right, I think on TV, I look back and it didn't look offside at all. But from where I was, I'm sort of looking right down that line of sort of it could be offside. And then obviously I turned to my friend and then I thought, actually, he was close. He was close, Cucurella, to being offside. So it's that doubt that just absolutely kills you. It really does.
The infamous moment I remember from the 21 FA Cup final when Ben Chilwell scored and I celebrated, left the room, came back and was like, what? I didn't even think about that. Bloody hell. Did you have anyone else on your losers?
Did I have what else did I have in mind? Oh yeah, Virgil van Dijk.
I love there's so many memes about that.
Because the memes that he got after the game. I know I didn't notice them until like the day after, and I was like, wow. No, there's one of him playing cricket. Didn't see him. There's one of him dancing. It's all sorts. And I just thought, wow, that is incredible. He's got aura. It's aura architect. It don't matter.
Oh my god. Right. I went with, first of all, I've got the Mark U conspiracy because it's officially over. There's no need for the Mythbusters now. We got the answer. when Gu came on, 75th minute, that was it. He's played for 2 clubs now this season. He can't play for a third. He is staying at Chelsea. And you know what? Fair play to the guy, because his pressing was relentless. He forced some errors from Mamadashvili and the defensive line. And he might not be scoring yet, but the work rate, he's always had that. He's always had that. And this point, he's got to be ahead of Tyreek George in the pecking order. We've got to be realistic here. I mean, come on. What are we doing if not? I mean, Gu is a striker. George is not a striker. Just saying. And I also had I'm a loser because I got to take an L. I have to. On Friday's show, which was on a Thursday, I complained about the goal music. I did. On Saturday, I was singing along to it both times. So it was against Liverpool. If it was against, say, I don't know, relegated Southampton last year, maybe not, but I'll take my seat and shut up now. I'll shut up. I've learnt my lesson. So I will look at the loop. Bloody hell. Ollie's got 4 losers. No, he hasn't. He's got 1. He's got Liverpool. Weren't at the races. Thought they were bang average. And with what they've spent this summer, that's got to be a worry for them. Good point. No one talks about their money. They never do. Chris has delivered here. He's got attack until the subs. No end product. Lots of work rate, but didn't trouble the back line at all. Garnacho had the ball about 1,000 times and produced 1 decent cross. You knew that was going to be in there, didn't you?
I thought Garnacho was brilliant. I'll be honest with you. I thought he really terrored Conor Bradley. I thought he was actually really good all game.
Did you not hear? He had 1,000 touches and 1 good cross. I mean,
yeah, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Neto, as usual, did nothing but run. And João Pedro looks a shadow of the player at the Club World Cup. Bloody hell, he's brutal. Enzo, in a good team performance, thought he was lethargic again. Passing wasn't great and just didn't really have an impact on the game. Did play a part in the winning goal, but still nowhere near his best still.
Sorry, is he talking about Enzo? We'll watch a different game here.
I'm really shocked by this. He's not here to answer his questions, but and then finally he's got Salah and Isak, and he's got in big caps. Salah getting exposed this season as a bang average player who's stat pads. If he doesn't score assist, he has 0 impact on a football match. Dreadful. As for Isak, imagine the press he'd be getting if we'd signed him. 120 million, looked more like a 20 million pound player. Very lucky assist off a poor first touch and got locked up by our 3rd and 4th choice centre backs. I love Chris. I disagree on the Enzo. I thought Enzo was all right. I don't think he was just brutal. Any thoughts on the losers, Dan?
Yeah, I'm a bit baffled because Enzo Fernandez, who I've been critical of, I don't think he's had a great start to the season, but the pass he played in the build up to the winner is an amazing pass at that time of the game with that intensity. And I thought all around there weren't many bad performers at all on the pitch, really. I think that out wide we just gave them a lot of hell, and that's why I think that Slot was forced into making so many changes over and over again with his defence, because I think Bradley was on a yellow, and that was due to the running of Garnacho and Cucurella as well. So yeah, I completely disagree about Fernandez, who I think did step up in a big game.
Yeah, we'll hold him to account on Thursday for certain about that, because I don't know. I'm not feeling that one, Chris. I'm not. There's the losers. That's it. Negativity out the door. Because winners. And I have to kick off with it's Estevao. It's Estevao. I mean, what more can we say, Berth? What more? I mean, the winning goal will make the headlines. It had main course energy. It did. But I think the real connoisseurs will appreciate the side dish that he served up. And it was a defensive graft he put in. I mean, there was one moment in particular. I wrote it down in my notes. He nicked the ball clean off Gakpo like a pickpocket in Oxford Street. And I swear Gakpo didn't even know the ball had gone. It was beautifully done. And he's an attacking player. You wouldn't expect that defender. It was amazing. And then the winner, I mean, you could feel it before it even hit the net. You were there. The stadium erupted. The players lost their minds. Jamie Carragher probably kicked over a table. It was chaos. It was uplifting. It was Chelsea. It was pure, absolute, beautiful Chelsea. I mean, Berth, I know he's your winner. Tell me.
He's not actually on my winners list.
Why have you done this to me? But tell me how that felt.
I knew someone would pick him. And he was brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I think what's good about Estevao is that he comes on and he always looks to make things happen. He doesn't look to go back. He always looks to drive at defenders. He looks to cut inside. He looks to shoot. He looks to get a cross in early. The cross for Enzo Fernandez header, by the way, was unbelievable. It was so good. His work rate, defensively brilliant. People are going to get annoyed by this comparison. But hear me out. I think he does remind me of like a younger William.
I thought you were going to say Neymar.
No. He reminds me of a younger Willian, the way he's playing at the minute. Now, don't get me wrong, he could be much, much, much better than Willian. Don't get me wrong. But the way he plays, the way he strikes the ball, the way he glides past players just reminds me how Willian was when he was at Chelsea. But he's brilliant. And I was so happy for him that he got a big goal, a big time against a big club. He's 18 as well. So he's unbelievable. He really is so good.
I mean, I'll jump in on the Willian thing. I swear, I think it's because he went to Arsenal that caused people to be a bit down on him. Because when you look at his stats and how he played, yeah, I mean, we all joke about the corners and everything, but he was a very good player for us.
Yeah, he's brilliant. William was brilliant.
Before I get Dan's thoughts on Estevao, I'll go through because Ollie and Chris have both picked him. They had to, didn't they? I mean, Ollie goes, Estevao, look what it meant to him. And the rest of the players when he scored, what a way to announce yourself. Estevao's going right to the very top. Not just the goal either, was very impressive, his all-round game. Don't remember being excited for a player like this since Hazard. That's big praise. And Chris, why did he have Estevao? Special player. Changed the game when he came on. I have no idea how or why he isn't starting games. He will be £100 million player in 2 years. Dan, Estevao.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the cinematic way for the game to end, and probably the most cinematic way that he could have scored his first Chelsea goal, which we've been waiting for. And I do agree that the Willian comparisons for me are more with his celebration. His celebration did remind me a little bit of the way Willian used to slide on his knee. But yeah, I mean, he's just, I was someone who was very intent on trying to lower expectations and the pressure on him because he's such a young player coming from a foreign league and, you know, the pressure of the media scrutiny and how big people have sort of built him up. But you have to say, I mean, pretty much since he scored the goal against us for Palmeiras at the Club World Cup, you just have to appreciate the talent that's there. And in watching him live, I mean, there is literally the moment he comes off the bench and the moment people realize the ball's going to come to his feet, you get a sense of anticipation and excitement around the bridge. And for a player, again, who, you know, it wasn't like someone who'd been in the Premier League that, you know, I'm pretty sure that a majority of Chelsea fans probably had not watched Estevao close until he played against us for Palmeiras. So for that natural kind of feeling of energy and emotion and excitement whenever he gets the ball, I think speaks to how special this talent is. And I think for him, especially at a time when, you know, Palmer's not there, and I think what we really want to see this season and moving forward is it not just be all on Cole Palmer to be the star at Chelsea. We need to have other sources of players who are going to really change games and win games. And I think for him to feel a part of Chelsea and to feel like he's going to be a big favourite, which I'm sure he already is for a lot of people now. Yeah, it was truly wonderful. And a little bit earlier, I do agree. I thought I was a little bit worried about an offside, but when you watch it back, the ball from Cucurella, I actually thought in live, because my stand-up season ticket seat is closer to the hard-in lower, so I'm kind of in line with the goal. So when you do have those offside moments, I kind of can see down the line of the box. And for me, it looked like Cucurella, my instinct was Cucurella had hit it too far, and the angle was so tight. You know, but yeah, he done so well. The composure, the anticipation absolutely left Robertson for dead. And yeah, a huge moment. And I think the expectation will be he's going to be starting after the international break because the ball he played for Enzo Fernandez that could have been the winner was also incredible.
Next up, I've got Moises Caicedo.
So yeah, he's on mine.
I mean, he had to be, didn't it? I mean, he's also on Chris's. And I'll read out what Chris said first. He put, best midfielder in the league, dominated the whole game, and what a goal. I mean, this man doesn't score ordinary goals, does he? He doesn't. And I was told that I would be told off if I didn't drop the sound drop for it. So let me just line it up. There it is, perfectly lined up now. I swear, I say this every time he scores, and I do. This man only scores pure highlight reel. I mean, that strike against Liverpool was just outrageous. You could almost hear it, the Liverpool fans just sighing when it went in, going, should have paid Brighton the money. And you know what? I've got to say this. People love to talk up about Declan Rice being worth every penny because of his defensive work and of course, those free kicks he scored in the Champions League. And if that's the case, cool. Caicedo has already justified that fee twice over then. He's not just, for me, the best defensive midfielder in the world. He's now becoming something more. He's adding being blunt, world-class goals. He's not. They're not flukes. He's doing it too consistent now. And bring on the knuckleball free kick next. I say, start learning that on the training ground because if you get a defensive midfielder who can score that sort of goal more than a few times a season, you are wow. I don't know what more to say, Chris. Berth. I don't know what more to say.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think at the moment he's definitely the best midfielder in the league on current form. I think all round, I don't think there's many better than him in the world. Breaks up the play, his energy is ridiculous, never gets injured. The goals he scores are just incredible. Gary Neville even said he's the best midfielder in the league at the moment, and it's hard to argue with everything that he's got. And I don't just think he's defensive mid. I always had this argument with Kante: is he a six? What is he? Is he number 8? I think Caicedo genuinely is just all round, just box to box. He's a 6. He's an 8. He's all sorts. He's absolutely everywhere. And I'll say it again. I said it ages ago, but I think if he carries on like he is at the moment, I think we'll put him in that same Kante, Makelele, Essien bracket.
Wow. Mate, that is a bracket you want to be part of. I mean, Dan, what do you think of Caicedo? Both the goal and he's just overall, he's just him. He's just brilliant.
Yeah, I think that Alan Shearer probably put it best. It was like he described his performance as kind of a bit of Lampard, a bit of Kante. And when you put it like that, and you look at sort of the assessment of his dominance, really, and such lofty kind of heights in terms of performance, which he's been doing for over a year now. I think that's the insane thing, is he's been playing like this and he's been performing like this for such a long period of time. It's really freakish, and I think he's taken a bit of a leadership role and a sense that he can really step up when his team needs him to. There isn't much in his game he can't do, and he's probably already wrapped up the October goal of the month and maybe even goal of the season, because it is one of the best goals. But as you say, like he's a freak of nature, really, and worth every penny.
Yeah, 100%. You know what, Berth? I was greedy. I've had 2. Who's your second winner from this game?
Caicedo's my second winner. So I had Caicedo. Oh no, sorry, Caicedo's my first. I do apologise.
Yeah, because you didn't have Estevao.
No, I didn't, did I?
Shocking.
Reece James was my second winner.
Well said.
Thought he was just unbelievable. Thought at right back he was brilliant, and then I thought at centre back, I know people sort of moaned at him for the goal, but I don't think there was much he really could have done. I think most of our centre backs would have been pinned by Isaac at that point. I thought it was phenomenal. I really did think he was brilliant. He was such a leader. Got the players going. On his day, he's another one, the best right back in the league, arguably in the world. If he stays fit for the whole season, he's such a big player for us. And yeah, he was just a colossus at the back. His passing, his defending, his reading of the game, his aerial duels. I didn't appreciate him, how good he was in the air, until I saw him live. Unbelievable in the air. I think physically he's outstanding. And yeah, I just didn't think he really put a foot wrong.
You and Chris are on the same wavelength, because he said brilliant defensively, showed great leadership on the pitch too. And there's a reason we get scared when he gets injured, like the precaution Reece this today when we heard about the pulling out the England squad. We get nervous because he's a really, really good player. It's worth, the voice goes a little higher when you hear an injury. Like, what is he? Is he gonna be all right? Because he's just brilliant. I mean, Dan, final thoughts on Reece James. I mean, amazing.
It's been a real privilege that we've been able to keep him fit for an extended period of time now, and it's really a miracle, because I think this time last year you were kind of sat there thinking, is he ever going to get back to fitness? And but the way they've managed him has been perfect. And I was surprised, even he said, I'd never really played centre back before, but surprise, he can play that role as well. There isn't really any role on the pitch he can't play, and he's an extraordinary footballer. I think it sometimes gets lost. It's a little bit like the Caicedo thing, right? Because the performances are so great. But I think particularly with Reece, because he's been around longer at Chelsea and because he's had so many injury issues, that's always been more of a prevalent concern. You not kind of underrate or dismiss it, but, you forget how just extraordinary a talent he is, and the ease to which he's able to be so versatile and influence in so many areas of the game. I've always felt that if Reece could stay fit for a whole season, he would probably win Player of the Year. Now, that was before Caicedo, but I mean, it's a long way to go, but if Reece, I think, stays fit and he's producing top level performances, I think he'll be right up there, because he's that good a talent, obviously.
Oh, for certain, for certain. Talking of players that get us a little bit concerned when they go down, I've got Romeo Lavia as my third winner, and that's because look, I'll talk subs. I mean, when he came on, everything changed. I'll hold my hands up. I have been critical about his availability, but when he does play, my word, he's special. And I always make little notes in my little notepad when I'm watching the game. The De Bruyne-esque pass into that left-hand side that he made. Oh, it was elite vision. That's an elite vision from a playmaking player. And with him in midfield, we do look a completely different team. We're more fluid, we're more assured, we're more dynamic. And I hope now that the club take the Reece James approach with him, build the minutes up carefully, keep him healthy, manage him well, let him grow into the player that he can become, because his ceiling is sky high. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dan hit the nail on the head, to be fair, when he said that Lavia, it's amazing that he can come back from these injury spells out and he still looks unbelievable when he comes on. He still looks like he hasn't missed a step, and he looks sharp. He glides past players. His pattern's always crisp, and he always changes the game whenever he plays, and he's so press resistant. I don't think we've got a player like him in the team where he can just literally turn people inside out from that deep position. So yeah, he is phenomenal, and we need to keep him fit really, because he's a big player for us.
Any thoughts on Lavia, Dan?
Pretty much just, echoing what I said earlier. I think, he is such a really good talent. And I think whenever we've seen him play for Chelsea, you can see the potential there. It's just, you have to be hesitant, unlike with Reece and some other players, until he shows that durability over a longer period of time. It's hard to get too, overboard about him, because, a player's best attribute really is their availability, as we see with the likes of Caicedo and Cucurella.
For certain. Berth, next up, who's your next up winner?
So my final winner is Maresca.
Yes, sort of. Yes, but I've added extra words. But go on.
So celebration alone, to be fair, I thought fair play to him for just actually running down the line, taking a red. I'm sure he won't care too much about the red, but yeah, I thought the changes he made. I know we've been critical of his changes over the Man U and Brighton game, where we thought he's gone very defensive, which he has. But I thought he saw that Liverpool were almost there for the taking, and even with the injuries, I thought he was very positive with his changes, and I thought overall we were the better team anyway. But then he brought Gio on, he brought Estevao on, he brought Gittins on, and Lavia, of course, was what he brought on. So I thought he read the game perfectly. Sorry, and yeah, I just thought he was very positive with it, and we actually attacked him and we won the game. And yeah, I think you've got to give him credit, like we were saying earlier. You sort of criticise him when he's not done so well. You've got to give him praise when he has done well. And the Liverpool game, he did do very well. So yeah,
I think that's perfect for just transitioning to my final two winners, because I have Enzo Maresca's attacking subs. I mean, we had 3 attacking subs in the 75th minute. 3. Not 1, not 2, 3. I cried tears of joy. It was the turning point. Estevao, Gio, Gittins all came on, flicked a switch. No sitting back, no playing for a point. Maresca went all in for the win. And I was critical of his substitutions in previous games. Brighton, Man United, different gravy this game. And Liverpool couldn't handle it. Arne Slot even tried to plug the leaks of a defensive sub. Didn't work. We overloaded them, swarmed them, and then we sent them packing. We kicked them straight onto the bus back. And this is what I wanted to see. And it was so good for it. And we always want to see attacking football. I respect there's tactics and we have to be careful. We have to be sensible. But we could see, this is to me, I'm not fully convinced by this Liverpool team at all. And we took advantage. And the red card streak was another winner. Look, 3 red cards in a row, 4 in 5 games. This time Maresca himself, second yellow for sprinting down the touchline, celebrated the players. You know what? Who cares? It's worth every second. It touches on what I said previously. Moments like this matter. That mattered. That red card, it doesn't matter. Because the moment, the connection that we're begging for, manager, players, fans, all pulling in the same direction. You can't fake it. You can't fake that kind of passion. It's contagious. And right now, it's going to drive the team forward. I'm sure you felt it in the stadium when you saw it, and it's like you just can't help it. It's that momentum, and it's.
I'll
so
be honest.
important.
I was too busy going mental. I didn't even
But that's the
notice that
thing.
he went down the line. But
You
yeah,
had you had the euphoria of and everyone has won. I mean, any thoughts on Maresca, the euphoria and everything else, Dan?
I do think it is, a real step forward compared to the Man United and Brighton games. And of course, there is nuance and context within that because, of course, in both of those games, you're down to 10 men and you are, in both of those situations, forced into at least one change. I think the concern a lot of us had was that he made extra subs, especially in the Man United game. And I think in the Brighton game, that kind of did the opposite of what they were intending to do from a defensive point of view. In this game, I was sat there. I think it was I was sat in my seat post the equaliser, and there was kind of a period where Liverpool came strong a little bit, and there were signs that maybe they could really get something together and maybe take all 3 points. And I was looking at Maresca, and he's urging the team on, and my concern was either Maresca being a little bit too inactive or making the wrong choice from the bench, and I think it was a real good sign that he went so progressive and he went, aggressive with his subs, and they were there for the taking. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, as two of the back four, not a defense. I don't think Liverpool to me look like a really lopsided team at the moment. And I think there was room there for Chelsea to go at them, and they did. So it's really good to see it as well. I think it kind of ends the conversation about Mark Guiu not being played for any loan purpose. And I do like a bit of Guiu, I have to say. I think he is very raw, but he puts himself about, and he's a right nuisance. And I just think it was just a sign of intent, right? I do also think that there have been times at Chelsea where we become more concerned about what the opposition will do to us rather than what we can do to the opposition. And I think that was a really good sign in a big occasion that Maresca felt the game was there, the incentive was there, and he didn't back down from it, which I think maybe this time last year, he maybe would have just settled for a point, which, to be fair, I think a lot of us pre-game would have settled for a point. But I think it's credit to him that he had the confidence to then go for it.
Yeah, for certain. I'll round off Chris's winners. He's got Cucurella, locked up Salah, made him look like a championship player. Great assist for the winner. And Mark Guiu, he is on the winners list. He played a game, actually offered a focal point as well when he came on. I fully echo that, Chris. I really do. Let's have a look at Ollie's winners. He had the centre-backs, 4 different centre-backs played in the end between James, Hato, Badiashile and Josh. Thought all 4 did very well and kept Liverpool's attack quiet. Shout out to Cucurella too for locking up Salah again. And he also had wingers. Don't get to say this often. Thought our wingers throughout the game were good. Neto defensively was excellent. Garnacho I was impressed with. Even Gittins was decent. And finally, his final winner is himself. He said Liverpool was there for the taking and that we could get something from the game. Statement of intent now. Must keep this up after the international break. So, yeah, I'm echoing all that. Only Chris, who was a bit down on Garnacho, Mr. 1,000 touches and 1 cross. I will hold him for that on Thursday. I bloody will. I'm not having that.
Yeah, I didn't get that because I thought Garnacho was very good.
It was fine. I wouldn't note it as 10 out of 10, but I'm not going to 5 out of 10. No. Right. I'm going to do the emoji game review. We always do it. What emojis are we throwing out for this one? I went with mind blown because I kind of lost my shit when that winning goal went in.
Oh, what have I got? Let's have a look because I haven't really. You know, I'm just gonna go for the party emoji because it was. It's an obvious one, but it was just that party atmosphere after the game was brilliant.
Damn right. What would you pick for an emoji to sum up that game, Dan?
I'm torn between the happy tears in the eyes or the 2 hearts as eyes. So one of those,
that's a good
2.
one.
Love that. Yeah. I mean, it's one of them games that we're going to remember very well, and it's important that we continue this momentum. So, I'm a happy boy here. Lion of the Week, where I get to pull up the picks from the week prior. Chris had Cucurella. Great shout. The wheel went with Tyreek George. That was terrible. I went with Estevao. I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, get in. And he was... someone's going to go Cucurella was better. I feel like I've won this.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah.
He was brilliant. And who would you actually pick for the best player in the game, though?
Caicedo.
Dan?
Yeah, I think Caicedo, just simply because when you score a goal of that nature, I mean it's just ridiculous, and his all-round performance was so huge again.
Yeah, that's very fair. That is very fair. Right. You know what? We'll just finish off. You know what? We'll pause Charisma's questions because we're going to have a mailbag coming up soon. We'll do an end of show game because we haven't done this in a long bloody time. And Dan's all right. You're going to be fine with this game because it's Sidwell stamp collection. And this is basically where I give the name of a player and I'll tell you how many clubs they've played for in their career. So you then place a bet to see how many other clubs you think you can name. So I said prior, this was, you've been on this before, but
yeah, I do like this one.
Been
But I'm not
so
very
long
good
ago.
At this one.
We've never had
Not
more
very
than
good
one
this one.
person on a Monday for a while. So if it was Nelka, there's 12 clubs. You then would have to name, you think, how many can you name? You could say 5. If you reckon you can do more, raise the bid, keeps going until the highest bet stands, that you do have to sort of name them. So, don't get too aggressive. So today's theme is better for country than club. So every player today is known for playing better at international level than club level. So first name up is Lucas Podolski. 8 clubs he's played for. Reserve teams of 2 of these clubs as well. I'm not going to count them. That's a very Bundesliga thing. We do those, the 2 mark, but we're not doing that. It says 8.
I reckon 3 for Lucas Podolski at max.
Dan, do you think you can do better than 3?
Potentially, I think I might be. The problem is, I know. Right, I think I know at least 2, but it's where he ended up later in his career that I'm a little bit confused about, to be honest. But I'll give it a go. I'll go 3, maybe.
Oh, you got to beat the 3 though. You got to go 4.
Let's go 4 then.
Go on, name
Yeah,
the club.
I don't think I'm beating 4.
I knew Berth would be like, name them. Name those 4 clubs.
Arsenal.
Yes.
I'm torn between Wolfsburg or Werder Bremen.
That's what was throwing me off, to be honest with you. That's why I didn't pick 4.
Because I'm pretty sure he went back to one of these clubs. And I remember watching him getting like a farewell. Let's go Werder Bremen.
Oh, no. Berth, who would you have named? You've won the point, but who would you have named?
I've gone Arsenal, Galatasaray. Did
Yes,
he play
that's
for Bayern
2.
Munich at one
That's
point?
3, yes. Yes, he did.
Did he play for? Did he? Oh, I don't know. He played for a Japanese team, I'm sure.
He did indeed. I don't remember.
Was it the same team that Iniesta played for? Is it Kobe, maybe?
Yes, Vissel Kobe. If you get the current club he's at, he's the most he's played at a club as well, with most appearances. I don't know who this club are. I don't know.
No idea. No idea.
He started his career at FC Cologne. Goes to Bayern. FC
I was
Cologne
trying to
again.
say Cologne as well.
Yeah, Arsenal, Inter Milan on loan. No memory of this. Galatasaray, Vissel Kobe, and Talyspor. He's currently at the Polish club Górnik Zabrze, which I've butchered because I know I'm not very good with names, but I don't remember that.
Would never have got that. Never would have got that.
No, neither would I. No, neither would I. Right, next name. Right. Second player, I've got Diego Forlan. 10 clubs he's played for. 10 clubs.
Yeah, go Forlan.
Love that man. What a player.
Again, I don't think I could. I can only think of 2 at the minute, and even that's a stretch.
Wow.
I'll go 2 to begin. Yeah,
2?
I can't think of. Oh no, sorry, 3. 3, I think.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Dan, do you think you can beat 3?
I think I could go. Let's try 4 again.
Berth, do you want to challenge him, or do you want to go 5?
I don't think I'll go 5.
You're going to go 5?
I'm not going to.
Oh,
go
I was
5,
going to say, man.
I
remember doing this myself, and I wrote down 5 at the time because I'm like pretty confident. Dan, name those 4 clubs for me.
So I know Manchester United.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure he played for Atletico at some point.
Yes, 2.
Inter? Was it Inter?
Yes. 1 season. He did play there. That's 3. That 4th club.
See, I'm not going to get any more recent ones.
I doubt anyone's going to remember the recent clubs.
Was it because he spent a bit of time in Spain? Was it someone like Villarreal?
Yes,
Yeah, I
nicely
was gonna say.
done. He started his career at Independiente, goes to Man United, Villarreal, Atletico, Inter Milan, Internacional, Cerezo Osaka, Penarol, Mumbai City, and he ends his career at Kichi, which I don't
No idea.
no idea, I'll be honest. Right, final player, this one. He never played for us. There's a clue, but anyway. Emil Heskey. That's a throwback name. I don't think if Ollie was on, he'd be screwed here. He'd be absolutely screwed. So, Emil Heskey, 7 clubs this man has played for. I'm
just trying to count in my head what ones I can get.
You get this is the final player, Berth. Winner takes all on this one.
4.
4. Oh, 4 of 7. Okay, Dan, do you think you can do 5?
Yeah, I think I can.
Can you do 6, Berth?
I don't know if I could do 6. I don't know if I could do
6 clubs, man.
Who else did he play for? No, I don't think we could do 6. No way.
I'll be honest. I remember writing this down. I thought I can do 5. I wouldn't be able to do 6 and 7.
I know I'm missing one, but I 4 definitely. I don't think I can get 5.
No. Fair enough. Dan, to win it, name those 4 clubs.
Liverpool,
Yep.
Aston Villa,
Yep.
Birmingham.
Yes.
Oh, how have I not got that one?
Bolton.
Yes. Wow.
Oh, I didn't think Botty played for
What a-
Bolton. I had it in my head,
Wow.
but I was
What a
like,
shout.
nah.
Yes. Wow. That is.
One more, right? I got to get one more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
go
one
for-
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 in my head between 2 clubs.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he did start his career at Leicester.
Yeah.
Bang on. You've
Well
done it.
done.
Yes, it goes Leicester, Liverpool, Birmingham City, Wigan, Aston Villa, Australian listeners, Newcastle Jets, Bolton Wanderers to finish it off. I don't remember Newcastle
How
Jets.
did I knew Wigan, but how did I not get Blues? How did I not get Blues?
Didn't he play with Jermaine Pennant?
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
I remember. I have the image. Yeah, because Chris Sutton played. Didn't Chris Sutton play with Emil Heskey together? That was the one game he played or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So I want to thank Dan for giving up his time to appear on our show. It's always a pleasure when we have guests on.
No worries.
It's always a pleasure when we have someone who's as always informative as yourself. So yes, thank you. Listeners, we're at the end of an episode, of course, so thank you for tuning in. And before we go, don't forget, we are proudly partnered with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football, sport, wellbeing, and community. You can always find out more at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. We'll be back Thursday. I forgot what we're doing. I think it's player ranking, so I'm hoping the other 2 lads are back off their rehabilitation program for that, because that's always a tasty one. See who's gone and charted and who's up and down. Yeah, let's see. We'll see on that. So, yes, until then, that will be us signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.